This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Tom, I'm having a brat summer.
Oh, God.
Tom, I'm not sure if you know this about me. I am brat.
Tim.
Yeah.
I've
been declared brat.
You mean a brat?
No, brat.
Oh, okay.
By Gen Z.
Brat by Gen Z?
Brat has
What
declared
is that,
me.
a perfume?
Brat by it's green slime. Because they also watch a lot of Nickelodeon.
Oh, do they?
Gen Z. I think.
Isn't Nickelodeon like canceled now because of all the issues they've had? The child stars.
I guess. I don't know.
You know, later saying awful things
I
happen
hope
to them.
Doug isn't affected.
Yeah, well, it's a cartoon character, Tim. He's usually not affected by those types of things.
You never know.
Yeah, Tim, this is one of those things that I know it's a Charlie XCX album, but I don't understand why this is happening. Why people are saying things are brat, like you're saying now.
Yeah, I mean, whenever this stuff happens...
He doesn't know what it means either.
Whenever this stuff happens, Tom, and you try to get a straight answer out of
just,
somebody, it never makes any sense. And but if you tried to explain this stuff, it's not meant to be explained, I feel like.
I feel like this is when you learn the word chuggy and you kept saying it for every day for 6 months.
Yeah. Well, I'm, a Gen Z
and now
man such
brat's
as myself.
a word you already know.
Yeah, and I've been called brat before, Tom.
Yeah.
By my babysitter,
yeah.
When she was making out with her boyfriend when I was a
Wow.
kid, she'd be like, "Get out of here, you brat. Tim,
Yeah.
you are brat." And I was like, "Thank you very much. You don't know.
But
This will be a
that's-
compliment."
Now, please
Take that,
continue
Stephanie. Yeah, no.
making out. I was enjoying watching that.
Yeah.
A weird kid. We're a brat. So it's not really definable. Brat? Being brat? Also, how the hell did she pull this off with being like, hey, the name of my new album, that's a new way to be also. Because
Right.
that's pretty good marketing.
I know. She's good. I don't know. It's just a trend. And
Like
everybody's I don't...
The Rolling Stones didn't come out and say, this is Bridges to Babylon Summer. I'm having a Bridges to Babylon Summer.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's because they're not as good marketers.
Well, yeah,
as Charlie
they probably
XCX.
didn't even think about it. I don't know why that was the first album of anything that popped into my mind.
Right. In a TikTok interview, this is from NBCChicago.com, Tom.
Okay.
The best place to go to know about Gen Z slang.
Yeah. Big cities, local news.
Charlie XCX explained the meaning of the word brat, which she uses to describe herself. You're just like that girl who is a little messy and likes to party and maybe says some dumb things sometimes. Who feels herself, but maybe also has a breakdown, but kind of parties through it. She adds that a brat is, quote, very honest, very blunt, a little bit volatile, I think. But people say volatile sometimes.
Sometimes people say that. I've noticed every once in a while when I'm watching something on YouTube, people will say words that they've obviously never heard said out loud. They've only read the word, and sometimes you get very funny pronunciations on somewhat common words. That's one of my favorite things.
Hey, I like it too, Tom.
And then I leave a comment under the video.
What are you, dumb?
I say, you idiot. Were you so stupid? That's not the way you say that word, moron. So and then I call, I swat them. I swat them to teach them a lesson.
All right. Tom, you're too online.
Swatting is very brat.
Maybe. So the way that she described it,
The way she described
just
it,
like
it could fit anybody.
like an annoying kind of shitty young person, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Which, like,
an
we were all
opinion-
brat
An
when- yeah.
opinionated, mean young person.
Yeah. And that's cool.
Yeah.
But
It's cool that that's why you're that way now.
that's why I'm a brat, Tom. Or I am brat.
Yeah, you are brat.
And
Well,
also, I think millennials, of which we are elder millennials, or I am. I think you might be. Are you technically
I'm
silent generation?
not the silent generation. I'm also an elder millennial.
No, you're on the cusp, right?
I'm not Gen X.
Okay.
I by like a year.
You're like nothing, right? No offense, but
No, I'm not
I'm just
talking
being
about
a brat, Tom.
I'm not
being a
talking
brat.
about your generation now. I'm just talking about you.
Um,
And it's being brat, Tim.
but everybody is, everybody our age, like makes fun of the Gen Z slang
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
right? Like, Riz and stuff, right? Like, look, young people say dumb things and they have a lot more fun and they're cooler than you, and like you would kill to be young and stupid again. Let young people be young and say dumb words and like make up slang. It's fine. You're just jealous.
Well, and it's like every generation comes up with its own slang. And of course it's not going to be like other generations' slang. They want to leave their own mark, do their own thing.
I wish I could be brat and not lose my job and my 401k. I got a mortgage to pay.
I mean, it sounds like you could. I guess you'd have to like be brutally honest all the time. That
Yeah, I'm
would
the
be
press
being
secretary
brat.
for the president of the United States, Tom.
Yeah,
so you
and
can't be brat.
No, you can't be brat if you're the press secretary of the United States of America. You have to be able to spin.
Right. And brats notoriously can't spin.
No, sometimes they'll party through it.
Have there been jokes on the internet like for like brat summer? And it's like a brat word, a picture of a brat.
No, that's pretty good, Tim.
Word. Yeah, I think we should get over to x.com.
We should go to a ballpark and get some bratwurst and say, "Oh, we're having a brat summer."
Yeah.
And we'll post pictures of us eating the bratwurst.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
How are you doing this week?
I'm doing good, Tim. And I'll tell you one reason why. Tomorrow, I have tickets to the hottest show in town.
Hamilton?
No, Tim, you're going to have trouble keeping up with Gen Z at this point.
Why? Everybody loves Hamilton. He's a brat.
It's impossible to get tickets.
It's not anymore, right? Like,
No, of
I
course
could get
not.
tickets
It's
to
been-
Hamilton tomorrow,
No,
right?
yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Like, it's
No,
been
I'm
on,
talking about going
no,
in
but
person.
I'm saying like
I know I don't have to buy tickets to a streaming movie.
No, but I'm saying like it's on Disney Plus. Like they did that because, and there are multiple touring companies because they're like, all right, like that's all the money we can make off, or that's the peak of the money we can make
Right.
off of it.
Okay. Well, maybe we should go see Hamilton tomorrow, Tom.
They should put more musicals on TV, on like streaming services and stuff.
They do have like a Broadway streaming service where
Oh.
you can.
But it's like new? It's like current shows?
No, they can't do that. They
Yeah.
want people to go.
Oh, it's
pay
like
to-
old shows you can watch?
Yeah, they have like archive. You can
Like
watch
people that snuck video cameras in?
Yeah, exactly. It's bootlegs. It's a bootleg service
costs $25
of like
a
Les
month.
Mis from 1997. That
Yeah,
was
it's a
filmed on a
VHS
handy
copy.
cam. Yeah.
I watched a significant portion of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark that was somehow inexplicably like shot on a camcorder instead of a phone.
Wait. Oh, Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. I thought
Yeah.
you meant one of the movies that came out
No,
recently.
no,
and I was
no.
like, what are
The musical, Tim, that we
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
But, you can't... sorry, it's not anywhere anymore. It's not touring or anything. So you
I
can't-
think it's still touring.
I think it's still open somewhere on Broadway. Sure, they had to move it to a smaller theater.
Oh, I
but-
thought that's what U2 was doing at the Sphere. They were staging a production of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
No, they're just playing the music.
Surely
from
they
it.
played a lot of the memorable hit songs from.
They'll play most of the music from it. No, Tim, I have tickets to the hottest show in town. It's a movie.
Okay. A show is a movie, and Kamala is Brat. Who knew?
Tim, don't you hate it when I was watching like a behind-the-scenes video earlier today, and I get why it happens this way, but when people who work in movies refer to productions as shows, like, oh yeah, I worked on that show.
I've never heard that, actually. I've only heard like in fourth grade, fourth graders telling me like, "Oh, did you see that show?" It's like, it's a movie. Back to the Future is a movie. Roger.
That's why I think you would hate that. You wouldn't be able to work in production, Tim, because people shoot movies, but they refer to it as shows. It's very confusing.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't hate it. I would just
I think
so confused that I'd be driven mad.
You'd be correcting everybody like you were back in fourth grade. This is a movie, not a TV show, actually.
I didn't want to burst Roger's bubble.
So you didn't tell him.
No. There's no reason he needed to know.
And now, one of the top producers in Hollywood. Tim, the show I have tickets to is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. Deadpool versus Wolverine?
No, and Wolverine.
Okay. You're going opening day. You bought tickets to opening day. Okay.
But the thing is, nowadays, movies open earlier. Like, I think screening started on Wednesday, maybe.
Okay. But like first, like this is something you're prioritizing.
Yeah. I mean, not enough that I'm going like on a weeknight. I'm going on a Friday night.
Right.
But
funny that like you kind of swore off other superhero movies that are like, anchored by women or people of color.
Sworn off.
You haven't seen any of them even in theaters, let alone first week.
1,000% not true, Tim. But this one I am excited to see in a movie theater.
Because now, do you get to talk back to Deadpool when he talks to you?
You can. Yeah. I'm going to a special screening where you're allowed to do that. It's like how on trains they have quiet cars. They have some theaters where you're allowed to talk back to Deadpool, and the rest of the theaters are quiet theaters. In which we just found out the other day from an interview was originally titled Wolverine and Friend.
Like the Deadpool movie?
Yeah.
As a joke?
Like as a joke.
Are you smoking reefer in here, Tom?
No, it does smell like reefer, though,
yeah,
right?
Okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't going crazy.
That you don't have reefer madness?
Yeah. If you're getting a contact high from...
Tim's going to start having acid flashbacks. No, it leaked early that's what the movie was going to be called. And I remember seeing that leak, and people were like, no, that's not what the movie is going to be called. That's so stupid. That's ridiculous. And then the trailer came out, and the trailer didn't have a title on it. And apparently that was because they saw the reaction to the leak, and
really?
And we're like, oh shit. Okay, yeah, no, scrap that. Like, we don't have time to make a new title, but like, it's supposed to be Deadpool. Everybody knows that's what the movie's supposed to be.
That's why the internet stinks. Like, they got to change the movie because they're like, oh, some jackasses tweeted about it.
No, not that. It was that when that leaked, there was like people did not like it.
Yeah,
people
I know, but who
stupid.
cares?
People.
I'm sorry. Oh, they didn't think
Disney
it was the
shareholders
high-minded,
care, Tim.
Ike Perlmutter freaked out.
Yeah, no, I think he sold all of his stock.
All his shares this week, I think.
Yeah. Like me with Apple stock, Tim.
Yeah,
now he can finally speak his mind.
Yeah. And you use that to fund purchase of Truth Social stock.
I thought you were going to say Truth Serum.
If you get your hands on
I was like, how the hell
I'm screwed.
How do you know? I should have left those boxes of Truth Serum in the living room. Tim, have you seen any of the Deadpool movies?
I saw the first 10 minutes of the first one.
And then what? You got thrown out for jacking off?
No, my head. I was so. It was so mind blowing. I thought my head was going to explode, so I had to turn it off.
You have to. Oh, it was in the theater, but you
No,
turned
I
it off.
didn't go to the
all right.
theater to see a Deadpool
I
movie. What
thought-
am I, some sort of freaking
I thought.
sicko?
No, I thought you did because you said you were cranking it while you were watching.
You said that.
And I know you only like to do that in public theaters, not at home. You said it's not the same.
I've never said anything of
Boy,
the
Tim,
sort.
this is like a rated R version of this show,
Yeah.
like Deadpool. You saw the first 10 minutes and what? You were just like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, I think so.
It is the first 10 minutes like brutally violent, I think, probably.
I think there was some brutal violence, and I think like once I understood like what the humor was, I was like, oh, in theory I like this, but in practice I don't like that.
Yeah. Did you say that to the camera?
What?
Like you broke the fourth wall?
No, I wasn't being Tom.
I'm very confused.
I was sitting in my home, but I turned on a film. I didn't like it. I turned it off after 10 minutes.
Okay. Did you see Deadpool 2? Tim, what do you know about the character? Sure, you haven't seen the movies, but I'm sure you've read a bunch of the comics.
I read the novelization of both films.
Oh, okay. But none of the comics?
None of the comics. He's from the comics?
He's from the comic books, Tim.
This is what I know. He's red,
Uh-huh.
but when he takes off his mask, he's burned?
No.
Okay.
I'll get into what the deal with that is, but I forgot to mention that I'm going to see this movie at an Alamo Draft House.
Yeah, where I happened to see Twisters last week.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Twisters was great, Tom.
Yeah.
Nobody addressed the camera though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do you even know it's a movie then? And not just a show.
You're going to the Alamo Draft?
I have
House?
tickets to Alamo Draft House, which is normally a good thing. Oh, and somebody who just bought Alamo.
Sony, I think.
Sony, yeah. You think they'll let me hook up my PlayStation?
Yeah, no, that's one of the main things that
That
you
was
do
one-
there now. Yeah,
That was one of the main reasons.
they don't let you like.
Hey, everybody,
Take
we're going
out
to
your
start the
phone or
movie
do
unless anybody's got a PlayStation they'd like to play instead.
Yeah.
Can
So-
you imagine?
Well, man,
With the surround sound and everything?
and imagine they added a day to the week called Kids Day, and kids got to do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, it'd be incredible, Tim. So anyway, I am upset because I think at AMC theaters, when you buy a ticket or when you pre-ordered a ticket, you got a coin for a claw machine that they had. That had like Deadpool and Wolverine necklaces in it.
You are a number one, a
Big necklace guy.
a big necklace guy, a necklace fiend.
Yeah,
but
look
also,
at me. I've got 17 necklaces on right
it's
now.
really it looks uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Also, like they're too. Are you under the impression that you have a skinnier neck than you do? Are you being choked by them?
That's the fashion nowadays, Tim. They're supposed to be tight. If they weren't so tight, you'd hear them
Yeah, you're
clinking and
jingle
clanking.
jangle like Cyndi Lauper when they were trying to record "We Are the World."
Yeah, that was such a good part of that documentary. I told you I did watch that documentary eventually.
No, but what a way to find out! I can't believe this is how I found out.
Yeah. What's it called?
Like
One Night Only or?
The Greatest Night in Pop.
Yeah. On
Good.
Netflix.
Yeah. Tom, when I said this is how I found out, can we retire the social media post of like, I can't believe I found out about this news this way, and it's like a screenshot of a joke about, like an off-color joke about like, this is how I found out, the nominee for president dropped out of the...
Yeah.
Who cares how you found... Yeah, it's 2024. You're going to learn about things through memes. You're going to hear about news.
Yeah.
You're not going to be like, Walter Cronkite was supposed to tell me about this when I turned on my TV when I sat down for the news with my family at night. No, you're going to learn about things from somebody making a dumb joke on the internet about
I'm trying to remember, like, somebody did die somewhat recently, and I think I posted like not like a joke about them dying, but like something about them on Instagram. And I got multiple people who were like, I can't believe this is how I find out that they died. It was like some very minor celebrity. And it's like, well, it's either this or you'd never find out. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, yeah, so I'm mad that I can't try this claw machine.
Yeah.
I'm actually not that into necklaces, but
You
I'm
are very much into claw
I'm
machines.
so into claw machines.
You're under the mistaken belief that you're better at claw machines
Tim.
than anybody else.
I'm good at claw machines. Test me.
I mean, I
Take
do
me to
have
the
a
arcade and test
ball with the Flash logo
Yeah,
in
from
my
me.
home. Yeah,
That's proof.
yeah.
I gave you that ball to give your son.
Mm-hmm. It's a wacky ball too, Tom.
What do you mean?
It bounces every which way.
Oh.
It's like off kilter.
Yeah.
I don't think on purpose.
Oh, well, I mean, I just thought it was a shame that you wouldn't allow the boy to have a ball, that you would steadfastly refused.
Yeah, no, we need everything
Please, Papa,
he has.
may I have a ball to play with?
Corners. Nice.
Everything has to be dangerous.
Nice straight corners.
That's how he'll learn.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were talking about Deadpool and the claw machine.
Mm-hmm.
So you've never read a Deadpool comic?
I've never read a comic.
You've read comics because you complained about Lois Lane's butt being.
Well,
an
no,
All-Star
you told me to
Superman.
get All-Star Superman. I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
I read about a third of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
There's
I
like
realized
one
it was
panel,
smut.
one panel where Lois Lane is showering in the Fortress of Solitude, and you see her butt.
Yeah, it was shocking to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that page is stuck together, so you don't have to look at it anymore anyway.
I burned it, Tom. I want my mom finding it.
she checks your apartment for comic books.
Did you know this, Tom? When I was in high school, junior high even, I bought the bootleg CD of Green Day's set at Woodstock 94.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Which was cool. Bought it from the local CD store in town.
Yeah, that had things like that were like CDRs that were $30.
Yeah. But like, where else are you gonna get? Like, it was like what was on the CD. It was the music. And in this case,
it was the music that they weren't paying the artist for.
Right. And so, like, you know, there was artwork and booklets for all these.
Yeah.
This came in a clear CD case.
Okay.
And when you open it up, you took the CD out, and it was like a collage of like crowd shots and stuff. But front and center, it was Woodstock 94, baby. It was a lady topless, like flashing the camera, like front and center. And I was like, oh no. And so like I remember I like cut out a rectangle of construction paper, took the tray out and put it over, because I was like, what if my mom's going through the CDs and she takes this out and she sees there's a naked woman in
all
this?
the CDs out
Yeah.
one at a time.
I was just like, I'll get in so much trouble. I'll never be able to buy a CD again.
Yeah.
Which, of course, like, I don't know. My parents, A, wouldn't have done that. And also, if there was like a naked lady in a rock music CD booklet, they would have been like, yep, that's rock bands for you.
Yeah. Probably like low resolution, like badly printed anyway.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's like, I have to figure out a way to deal with this immediately.
I like that you didn't marker it over, because you're like, well, one day I may need this.
And Tom, you know what?
I mean, let's not get crazy. I am going to be 18 one day, and I'll be able to enjoy this in my own.
Yeah, we'll look at it, you know, but... Yeah. You don't
forgot
scratch out.
I forgot about when all those years ago when we moved into that apartment together, you taking out a Green Day CD and being, well, time for this construction paper to come off.
Tom. Anyway, that's kind of Deadpool, right? Is that more Deadpool or Brat?
I think that's more Brat, because Deadpool, Tim, he's unhinged. He doesn't let anything slide. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, so no. And also I know about Deadpool is that Ryan Reynolds plays him.
Uh-huh.
He owns a cellular telephone company.
Yes.
And
I think he sold it to T-Mobile, but like, you know, I think it made him a billionaire.
Okay. And he owns a football team.
Oh, yeah.
With,
Wrexham.
yeah.
Wrexham FC.
Wrexham University. No, you were right. Or you can say United.
I was going to say United. No, yeah, maybe. I think it's either FC Wrexham or Wrexham FC. I can't remember.
Okay. And he's also Van Wilder.
He is Van Wilder.
I would say Deadpool and Van Wilder. A lot of crossover in personality.
You know what I just realized with this movie, Deadpool and Wolverine? We've got Van Wilder and Van Helsing in one movie. Now, that's the crossover everybody's been asking for.
I'm sure there may very well be a scene.
There probably is like a joke, like of could have made that Van movie.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about Deadpool, Tim. The Merc with a mouth, as he's called.
What's a Merc?
Mercenary, short for mercenary.
Why don't they call him Merce with a mouse?
Merce
with a mouse.
Merce with a verse. He was created in, let me see, 1990 was when he debuted.
It's 4 years before my birth.
No, it's not, Tim. And that wouldn't make you Brat anyway.
That would make me Brat.
Yeah, so 1990, created by Rob Liefeld and Fabian, I'm going to butcher this last name, Niciza.
Yeah.
Fabian. It's an Argentinian name.
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce anything Argentinian.
Well, I'm not going to help you. I could do it, but I'm not going to swoop in. You got to learn for yourself. You're like one of those YouTubers that, it's real common. You've seen the name a million times. You've never said it out loud.
I mean, it's true. I've seen this guy's name before. He was debuted in a comic called New Mutants, number 98. Do you remember New Mutants?
It had something to do with the X-Men.
Yeah, Tim, this was like late 80s, early 90s X-Men fever.
Okay.
X-Men were all over the place, like very popular comics, getting a lot of, this is like
Dr. Stretch.
No.
Rocks.
No. It's a Fantastic Four you're thinking of, and those aren't their names. But they are Marvel, at least, so that's not bad. Yeah. I'll give you partial credit for that. Half a point.
Oh, Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine.
Halle Berry.
Storm,
Rebecca Romaine Stamos.
Mystique, yes.
Or Rebecca Romaine O'Connell.
Rebecca Romaine?
Is she still married to Jerry O'Connell?
Tim, what about this? Rebecca Romaine Lettuce?
Holy shit, Tom. Tom, this is another one next to Brat Summer that we should just start a new X account for some
for
really
all
good
these jokes.
Oh.
Stop putting these episodes out. Just use them to come up with these really good jokes.
Put the episode out too, but we gotta make sure we say our handle of our X account. So then that's synergy
every 10 seconds. Rob Liefeld and Fabian, they came up with them. But you might know Rob Liefeld. He's a controversial figure in comics. He is famous. He's an artist, but famously not very good.
Oh, really?
He is very, very bad at drawing hands and feet, which it's like,
he's like AI.
Well, and also like normal people have trouble drawing hands and feet.
Right.
But that's kind of one of the things that like separates a professional artist from a regular person. It's like at some point they're like, all right, I got to learn how to draw hands and feet. So he would either draw them, especially feet, very badly, or there was just like always stuff in front of the feet. So he wouldn't have to draw
What
them.
about shoes?
Shoes he was bad at as well.
What?
I think just the shape of feet he couldn't get. He was bad at proportions and like perspective.
Okay.
There's
How did he get a job drawing comics?
Tim, I don't know, to be honest with you.
Did his uncle own Marvel Comics?
No, his uncle, as far as I know, didn't draw Marvel Comics. But here's one of his famous drawings. I'm showing Tim a drawing of Captain America, but look at the proportions and the chest on old Cap there.
Yeah, how did they his chest comes out unnaturally. Like, why did they print this?
And that was the cover. That was on the cover of a comic book that, next to, with the price on it that people would have to pay.
Is it just his style and everybody accepted it?
No. Like, even at the time, people were like, what the hell is this? This isn't what a human being looks like. Yeah, it's just, because you can tell it's like it's trying to be like, oh, he's turned a little bit. But instead, it's like the body's just unnaturally like popped out that way.
It's just a not very good picture.
It's not a picture, Tim. It's a drawing. Were you under the impression that was a photograph?
He drew a picture, Tom. You can call a drawing a picture. Yeah,
but I wouldn't.
You can call a movie a show. Tom, words mean nothing.
No, words are important, Tim. Deadpool was initially depicted as a supervillain of the New Mutants and X-Force.
Okay.
But here's the like weird thing about him, because Rob Liefeld is like credited as the creator.
Right.
But this guy Fabian is too, but you hear more like Rob Liefeld is like, he definitely has a kind of like Stan Lee thing about him of like, often being part of like group work and then being like, that was me. I did all that.
Right.
And he's done that with Deadpool to the point where, so for years, it was obvious to everyone that Deadpool was a like parody of a character named Deathstroke from DC Comics.
Okay.
Which
and Deathstroke was serious.
Yeah, so I'm showing you a picture of Deathstroke.
He looks kind of like Deadpool.
He's got the two swords. He's got the full face mask.
Yeah.
He's got guns. I don't think he does in this picture. But he's also like similar where it's like, he doesn't have he can't shoot lasers out of his eyes, but he's like very fast and strong. We'll get into Deadpool's abilities in a minute, but
will we?
But this, Rob Liefeld draws this picture, and he's like, put this in the new comic. This is the new bad guy I wrote, Deadpool. And apparently this guy Fabian was like, oh, well, this is Deathstroke. This is, another character.
Right. And at that point, it wasn't a parody. It was just like, there's a badass guy, much like the other badass guy.
Yeah, I have it here. I was looking for the information about him. Liefeld.
I'm glad you found it. Now to relay the information.
Now, step 2. Liefeld, a fan of Teen Titans, the Teen Titans comic, and now Deathstroke was like the way the Joker to Batman is Deathstroke to the Teen Titans.
Okay, I heard the Teen Titans went to the movies.
They did, yeah. And there's Teen Titans Go, the kids cartoon that was really popular.
Yeah,
same characters, Deathstroke's in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
I only watch Miyazaki movies.
So Rob Liefeld, who was a big fan of the Teen Titans, showed this new character to his writer. And the writer said, upon seeing the costume and knowing this characteristics, killer with super agility, Fabian contacted Liefeld saying, this is Deathstroke from Teen Titans. To the point where, Deathstroke's real name is Slade Wilson.
Okay.
Deathpool's name is Wade Wilson.
Okay, so it's a joke. It's all a big joke.
But here's the thing. To this day, Rob Liefeld swears that this character has nothing to do with Wade Wilson, with Deathstroke.
I don't understand why people are so indulging of this Rob Liefeld guy.
It is a weird
Why isn't
thing.
somebody like, you're not allowed to draw comics anymore, and also you rip this thing off, like you can't do that.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, people are like, oh yeah, it's like a parody, and he's like, no, it had nothing to do with it. It's like, oh, then it's a ripoff.
Yeah.
Like, if you're
then
claiming
it's illegal.
if you're claiming it's not a parody, and So as I mentioned, he wasn't good at drawing, especially feet and stuff. Apparently, he was always jealous of his friends that drew Spider-Man because they would say, "Oh man, drawing Spider-Man's great. You draw like one big oval and then two ovals inside for his eyes, and you're done with his head. Like that's Spider-Man." And he wanted a character.
He does unfortunately have hands and feet.
Yeah. Rob Liefeld wanted a character who was also easy to draw. And that's where Deathstroke came from. But here's the thing, or Deadpool. But here's the thing about Deadpool, Tim. Like, that initial character, that villain, like, I'm trying to think of other cases where this has happened, where it's like, oh, this was this character's first appearance. But it's like, yeah, but they didn't have the characteristics that made them that character.
Right.
So in this first, he was just, like a mercenary. But then it was later writers, Joe Kelly and Christopher Priest. Kelly may have introduced Deadpool to breaking the fourth wall, but Priest could be credited for establishing it as an essential part of the character's personality and worldview. So like, it wasn't until later that people started using the character as a joke, as like a almost like a parody of the genre of that
like
type
a meta commentary of what's going on.
Yeah, like that type of character, which, there are a lot of characters in comic books that are like him. That
Gru.
I mean, Gru's got a sword too.
Yeah,
he's got a big katana.
Huh.
So it's kind of weird to me that Rob Liefeld takes so much credit for it when it's like, yeah, but this was like, the fact that he's funny is what everybody knows about him, and that wasn't like part of your character.
But also, it's making a lot of money.
Yeah,
and I bet Rob Liefeld gets a lot of that money.
Well, apparently I saw it at least like a couple of months ago. He had like a lot of tweets about how mad he was at Disney. Because apparently Fox used to...
Because of all the grooming?
No, Fox used to pay, like, the creators of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Disney does not.
Well, don't they have to?
I don't think so. Because,
what the hell was Fox paying them for?
Because... well, that's the thing. I think it was like
Rupert Murdoch never gave a dime to anybody who didn't have to.
Well, here's how that happened. It was because I think it was a pretty small amount of money. I think it was like $5,000 or something, which, is like, yeah, kind of insulting when like a movie goes on to make $1 billion on one hand, but like on the other hand, if they don't have to give you anything, at least like that's a gesture.
No, that's more insulting than giving you nothing.
I'd rather take $5,000 than nothing. But it also sounds like, I guess he had like a better relationship with Fox, and he was just like tweeting a bunch of stuff about like how shitty Disney's been treating him.
Right.
Because I think honestly, he is the kind of guy that's like, for whatever reason, used to being indulged. And like Disney, of course, of all these companies, is just like, no, the thing we bought has nothing to do with you as a human being. Go away now. I think that's like what the case is, where Fox gave him some money, invited him to premieres and stuff, and like he was happy about
like
that.
If he's the creator, like there's got to be some sort of participation. This doesn't feel right. I don't feel like you have the whole story here.
I'm just telling you what the rumor was. I mean, maybe.
Oh, the rumor mill, Tom. You're always real plugged into
your
the rumor
old
mill.
friend, the rumor mill. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. And it might have been Disney did pay him, but it was like, the bare minimum, and he used to get paid more. But I've seen other, who was it? Like the guy who created, I forget what DC character it was. But he also created Deadpool, or not Deadpool. He created Thanos.
Right.
And one of these characters he had like popped up in, I don't know, some like DC movie that nobody even saw. And like maybe the person didn't even like have their costume. It was just they had the name. And he posted a thing like, fun fact, I got paid more for that than I did for Thanos with all the Avengers movies.
I guess if you're doing it for the for Marvel or whatever, Marvel owns that, and you're probably. But here's the thing, Tom.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing is, none of these people knew how
valuable
these properties would become. Yeah.
But and I think like a lot of people would be like, well, he just ripped off Deathstroke. And it's like, yeah, but still, like, he did that, and they're like, Disney's making $1 billion off of that.
Yeah, if anybody should make
like,
money off it.
It's stolen either way, but like at least
well, it's not stolen. It's a ripoff, you know?
Right, yeah.
It's not an exact copy. And surely like the characters nowadays are not very alike at all. But the Deathstroke, Tim, interestingly enough, you're not going to be interested in this at all, but was going to
Don't worry, I'm not interested in any of this.
It was going to be the villain in Ben Affleck's Batman movie that never got made.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Affleck trivia.
I know you do, so I thought maybe you'll like knowing that. Joe Manganiello was going to play Deathstroke.
Joe Manganiello, I feel like I know him.
Yeah. He used to be married to the lady from Modern Family.
That doesn't
the pretty lady.
Oh, who is in like Stella and stuff?
Yeah.
The Stella shorts.
Oh, what? No, not her from Ed.
Oh. Oh, Sofia Vergara.
Yeah,
okay,
Sofia
that makes
Vergara.
a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. No, I don't know him.
Well,
I don't. Oh, it's her ex-husband.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He was going to be in Ben
Now I know
Affleck's
exactly.
Batman movie.
Okay.
Probably still got paid for it.
Yeah, he did pay or play.
I mean, Ben Affleck posted footage of him in a costume, like Joe Manganiello in a Deathstroke costume. So it's like they got far enough along that he was doing costume tests and stuff.
His name came up before Joe Manchin when I typed in Joe M.A.
I mean, that's good.
So he's
the better Joe.
Famous. Is he looks like a scumbag, but they put him in movies anyway.
No, he's like a handsome guy. He's in those Magic Mike movies. He was in the Pee-wee movie, too, that they made.
Oh, I know this guy. Yeah, this guy's
he's a hunk. He's a
sweet.
beefcake.
Yeah, okay. And he's really sweet. He was in that Pee-wee movie.
Yeah.
Who am I getting him mixed up with? Who's that guy in that Captain America movie? When they're in the elevator and he's like,
oh yeah.
You know that guy.
Frank Grillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking he was.
Well, Tim, guess what? He went to DC. He's going to be in the Superman movie. He's playing Rick Flag Sr.
Rick Flag Sr.?
Yeah.
Who's playing Junior?
Junior's dead, or in this universe, I believe. He was played by the guy. You don't know him.
All right. Yeah, I don't know any of these guys.
I can't remember. It's Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah, I don't know. Joe or
Joel? Joe? What, are you crazy?
Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've never seen this guy before in my life.
Okay.
I don't like his little mustache in this picture.
Let me see the picture, and I'll tell you what I think about the mustache. Ooh, I don't like that. It's not that it's little; it's that it's faint.
Yeah,
but that's like a professional headshot with somebody who's got like 3 days of mustache.
Yeah,
growth,
it's
maybe?
like give it another week before you go in for a headshot. Yeah, it's better in this.
Otherwise, clean shaven.
Yeah. Grew in more, and it just became wispy. Tom, you want to say?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's kind of what he looks like in Suicide Squad. That's where he played Rick Flag Jr. Or the Suicide Squad. I forget which is which.
The second one is the.
Wait,
is it? Yeah,
I think so.
Because it's serious.
Yeah, you always put the in front
formal.
if you want the Batman.
Yeah,
it's more serious. Tim, you mentioned. Let me talk about this because this is kind of interesting. That Donald Glover and his brother, Stephen Glover, were making a Deadpool animated series for FX.
Right. And it got canceled, right?
It got canceled. Do you know why it apparently got canceled, the rumor?
No. He was taking too long?
I think that's part of it, but apparently they had an episode about Taylor Swift that was seen as the last straw, and they canceled it after that. And
what do you mean? Like it was unflattering, and they didn't want to.
Yeah, I think it was like they were unhappy about a bunch of
from...
stuff, and then they turned in an episode all about Taylor Swift, and they were like, "All right, enough." But I don't know. Maybe that's Ryan Reynolds' wife is best friends with Taylor, so maybe that had something to do with it too. Maybe he used his influence.
Ryan Reynolds' wife,
Blake Lively, Tim.
Who is Blake Lively? She's a lady.
Step Lively. She's the lead singer.
Oh, the ska band from
yeah.
Long Island
in
that's 1997.
Yeah. Tim, let's talk a little bit about, because you don't give a fuck about Deadpool.
I do.
Well, you don't care about the things I care about
what?
Deadpool. Like, little...
Like who Joe Manganiello is?
Manganiello. Little details are the things I like.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get a sense of who is Deadpool as a guy.
Well, let me tell you about...
Is he burned?
Oh,
Does he
yeah,
have a terminal illness?
His abilities.
All this stuff.
So his story in the comics, I'm not 100%...
Catch me up, because I'm going to this movie with you tomorrow.
I'm not 100% sure if it's in the comics exactly the same, but I know in the movie... The thing is, he has cancer. He has terminal cancer. Okay. He's a regular guy. Well, not right. He's a mercenary.
Okay.
He has terminal cancer. Somebody comes to him and they say, like, hey, we can fix that for you. Like, I work for the government or whatever. And basically the way they fix it is they cause him to mutate into a mutant. Okay. They have like a serum that brings out like dormant mutant genes. But he winds up essentially getting the same powers as Wolverine, which is regeneration. Mm-hmm. Like he can heal from anything.
Yeah, I know what regeneration is.
But like extreme, where like you cut his head off, a new body will grow out of that old head.
Will a head also grow out of the body?
I don't think so. But I think this is also the kind of thing like in comics.
So whatever's connected to the head.
But I was going to say, I think also in comics, like, he's probably been like disintegrated into atoms and reformed somehow. But his face looks like that. I forget if they give a reason, but it's not burned. It's like that just happened as a part of this.
Okay.
Because there is something to it that I can't remember where it's like, I believe he actually like still has cancer and his body's just like constantly fighting it along with everything else. And that has something to do with why his appearance is like that. But that's his big ability, Tim, that, nearly impossible to kill him.
And the same with Wolverine.
But Wolverine's got a leg up on him because he's got those claws.
Right.
First off. And then he's got an adamantium skeleton.
Okay.
And then...
That's strong.
It's a very strong metal. And he also...
What is the metal from Black Panther?
Vibranium.
Now, what's better?
I believe adamantium is stronger than vibranium.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But vibranium has other unique characteristics to it.
Okay. You ever think about and how... we have a finite amount of time to spend with our loved ones.
I knew you were going to say something based on my knowledge of that.
No, and that's fine. Like I know minutia about other, useless topics. And you ever think about like we learn these things? And it's like, well, what do we do? There's got to be more. There's got to be more to life.
Like, I couldn't tell you, like if copper is stronger than silver. But I could tell you that I'm pretty sure adamantium is stronger than vibranium. So, yeah, let's And Wolverine too. They kind of downplay it nowadays because I think because a hunk plays Wolverine, but he also can smell and hear like an animal. Like he has like feral senses.
Right.
But I think they're like, look, we don't want to see this guy just sniffing on screen.
We'll get into this not in this episode. This episode is not about Wolverine. That's going to be behind the paywall. More on that in a minute.
Yeah.
But it's so funny that Hugh Jackman is a hunk because he's just a song and dance man.
That's all he wants to be. I didn't know though. I watched a video today that David Letterman's YouTube channel put up of maybe it was the first time Hugh Jackman was on Letterman. Maybe it was the second time. He was promoting X-Men 2.
Okay.
So it was like very early in his career. Oh no, this wasn't where I heard it. This was the two of them were on Hot Ones this week. They're all over the place.
Yeah, they're doing press for a film that's coming out.
It's an insane amount of press.
I know, because it's the only movie that's coming out for Disney this whole year.
Yeah. I'm just saying, be careful. That man, those two men cannot actually regenerate in real life. If you run them into the ground, they're not coming back.
Well, Hugh Jackman's not coming back.
No, I'm pretty sure we'll talk about that behind the paywall, but I'm pretty sure Hugh Jackman's coming back again. Talking about that, saying it that way makes it sound like we're nude while we're doing it. Just going to be our Patreon episode. What was I talking about? Oh, Hugh Jackman said the time he was most on Hot Ones, like the most scared he had ever been was when he had to sing the national anthem in front of I think it was an Australia-New Zealand rugby game. Mm-hmm. And he said as part of that, he was like, this was before I identified as a singer, I think was how he put it. So I was like, oh, huh. So he wasn't always like a song and dance man. But Tim, that's for the Wolverine episode.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's talk about Ryan Reynolds, Van Wilder himself. You know what? I looked up this list of his most well-known movies, and Van Wilder's not on it.
What?
That's insane, right?
Dumblist.com.
Yeah, idiots being idiots.
Yeah.
The Deadpool movies we talked about. X-Men Origins Wolverine, where he also played Deadpool, but a different version of Deadpool.
Okay.
Green Lantern, Blade Trinity.
Okay. These are all just comics movies.
But wait, Just Friends? Definitely Maybe?
What?
The Proposal?
That
we're talking rom-coms.
Yeah. Is that with Sandy Bullock?
Was
he married to Sandy Bullock?
No.
Was he married to Alanis Morissette?
No.
Who married these women?
He was married to ScarJo.
Right.
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of that was married to or dated Alanis Morissette?
Oh, like every Canadian superstar, I think at one point has dated Alanis Morissette. I mean, there's only 3 or 4, so.
Hold on. This is gonna.
I don't know. He may have dated her at some point too.
She was involved with Dave Coulier.
Tim, we all know she was involved with Dave Coulier.
And Dash Mahok.
We all know she was
involved. And Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
she was engaged.
Oh, they were engaged. Okay.
From 2002 to 2007.
Wow. 5 years.
Well, I mean, that's how long they were together.
Whole dating, yeah.
Not their engagement.
But 5 years, that's no joke.
Yeah.
It's a significant relationship. Phew, what? He dodged a bullet or she dodged a bullet?
No, that I knew something. Or it was gonna bother me.
Yeah.
So luckily we got Google.com, DuckDuckGo.com.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds has dated. Let's see who else.
It's interesting.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, wow.
In 1996. Trailer Howard.
Okay.
2 Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. Remember he was on that show?
He dated the other guy?
The girl.
Oh, okay.
Or
Trailer's
the
a girl's name?
Yeah.
All right.
I think she might have been the lady in Dirty Work, too.
Oh, okay.
What?
I can't place these people in my head.
Rachel Lee Cook,
Okay.
Alanis Morissette,
Yeah.
ScarJo,
Mm-hmm.
Sandy Bullock.
Oh, he did date Sandy. How long was he with ScarJo? Like total, if it doesn't have how long they were. Because I don't think they were married all that long.
After meeting her in 2007, they dated.
Mm-hmm.
And
Usually how it goes.
then his divorce was finalized in 2011.
Okay. So 4 years between meeting and divorcing.
Right. And then he immediately went into the arms of Sandy Bullock.
Oh.
And then there's this lady, Agnes Fisher,
Okay.
Charlize Theron.
Ah, he dated her too?
Yeah, he's a hunk.
Wow,
He dates all the
yeah,
ladies.
he dates all the ladies.
But it's an array of ladies.
yeah. Yeah, he's
Right? You
really,
wouldn't
he
think,
doesn't
like-
have a type, it doesn't seem like.
No.
He likes to,
And like
He
Sandy
likes to date
Bullock
all
is
kinds of
like, how
different
old?
pretty
How old
women.
is Ryan Reynolds?
I'm going to guess 45, maybe?
I'm gonna say 46.
Okay. Yeah, he might be.
Let's see.
47, I'm going to say.
You said 45.
I changed my
It's
mind.
47.
I'm right. I win. I remembered he said that in the Hot Ones interview.
Scarlett Johansson is 39.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I mean, these are all, like, Sandy's older than him, but not by... wasn't that actually, like, the premise of the movie? That, like,
She's
she was
60.
his boss? She's 60?
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly.
Still driving that bus too. They
Is
never got
that
her
true?
off. Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
I know. And now she's gonna be as old as the bus is going fast. She's gonna be. They should commemorate that.
All right, do you want to solve a problem?
No.
Hello and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems. I'm Tom.
And I'm Tim. Oh, not so easy to do, is it?
It's confusing this way. And we're going to solve a problem. If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us, the complete guide to everything at gmail.com. Hello. I don't know if I can use this person's name, so I'm not going to.
Is it
It's a man, I believe.
Let's call him Brent.
Okay, Brent. Hello, very minor, quick one. My colleague, who I consider a friend, is displaying some OCD behaviors. She is a very anxious person in general, but there is one behavior that is making me quite unreasonably annoyed. After every phone call on the office landline, she will press the call end button, then hang up the phone, then pick it up and hang it up again with the other hand and make sure that the call is definitely ended. There is a display on the phone that shows the call is ended, so it is all a waste of time. It shouldn't annoy me as much as it does, but it infuriates me. How should I deal with this? I've mostly tried shaming her and telling her it is all illogical. Should I try physical intervention? Should I take it more seriously and contact the authorities? What other methods? Her reasoning is that she once heard a story where someone hadn't hung up the phone properly, and then the client heard their conversation after they hung up. But that is so illogical in 2024 on these phones. If anything, there is more of a chance that the call end won't take by the phone trying to salvage a call that it thinks you didn't mean to hang up.
That's not true.
Yeah. I have to plug my...
There's smartphones, and then there's now you're being ridiculous.
I have to plug my ears when I can hear her winding up a call. Thanks. I mean, the
All
funny
right,
thing...
wait. Describe it again. Sorry. Okay,
What do you mean,
say the funny
describe it
thing
again?
I want to hear exactly what she does. The thing that she does.
After every phone call on the office landline phone, she will press the call end button, then hang up the phone, then pick it up and hang it up again with the other hand to make sure it's ended. So she presses the button that ends the call, hangs the phone up,
Why would you? Why is there a
then
call
picks
in-
the
okay.
phone up, puts it in the other hand, and hangs it up again.
Okay.
The funny,
Other than the switching hands. Okay, sorry.
I was going to say the funny thing about this one to me is that yeah, this is like obsessive behavior, but also like how much it annoys Brent is also like something.
Yeah, I think it's worse too,
Yeah.
because his friend is probably a shit talker. right?
It's a colleague.
Yeah, but who he considers a friend.
Yeah.
He said,
Oh,
Brent
right.
said it
Yeah, I
himself.
forgot, Tim.
She's probably a shit talker.
Yeah.
And like the last thing you want to do, like Tom, you know what I do when
What?
I get off a call and I want to talk shit?
Mm-hmm.
I initiate on my cell phone. I'll end the call.
I call 911.
I call somebody else, unrelated, and
Hang up
hope it
before
goes
it-
to voicemail, or just like have a short conversation and just be like, "Oh yeah, I'll see you later," and hang up, and then talk shit about the person. But like, it's always I call somebody who like doesn't even know the original person.
So even if your phone accidentally calls the last number again, it won't.
Yeah, it's just like I know that like the call is over because I initiated another call, and I
Right.
can't have two calls going on.
What about three-way calling, Tim? It could be a three-way phone call.
Well, then,
Could have just been you started a conference call. I think I'm like this. Maybe not this bad and not with this kind of stuff, but certain things that I have to check again, just to absolutely make sure. But I could also see if this is like this person's job is like be on the phone all the time, and they're doing this like dozens of times a day. That could be really annoying.
I mean, who cares? Like, don't.
Brent cares.
Yeah, I know, and I realize what the switching hands is. That's how you know you're like. If you hang it up normally the first time, you're like, and then you hang it up again with the same hand, you're like, is that the first time or is that the second time? And it's like, I've gone through the ritual. Of
And also like the other hand, it's like I'm getting a different angle here, so if it didn't settle in the receiver right, I'm with this.
I
this
think
colleague.
I think Brent should be thrown in jail.
Well, he probably will be after one of his clients overhears him talking about him, and places a three-way call to 911. If you have a problem you'd like us to solve or not
Brent,
solve, or
put
just
yourself
tell you
in
you're
jail.
wrong.
SWAT yourself. You
Yeah.
wanted us to tell you to SWAT this poor woman.
And you're the problem, Brent. So if you'd like that kind of treatment, the complete guide to everything at gmail.com is where you can email us your problems. If you like the show, go to tcgte.com. You can find all our social media links, our subreddit link, our Discord link. You can follow me on social media at Tom Reynolds.
You can follow me on my new X account at Hilarious Jokes.
2024.
Yeah. That's how people know they're current.
And hey, if you're listening to this and you're going, all right, well, now I know about this Deadpool fella. Well, how do I learn about this Wolverine character?
You're in luck.
You might be thinking, oh, I remember they did an episode about him in 2017. No. I mean, yeah, we did. But that's when he said he wasn't going to be back. Hugh Jackman, that is. But he lived up to being a huge actor, man. And he's back, acting again as Wolverine.
How much money do you think? Well, we'll talk about
this. We'll talk about all. Well, it's just going to be an hour of us being like, you think it was like $1,000? No, bro, way
the
more.
Creator of Deadpool got $5,000.
I don't think he got anything. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Patreon.com/complete guide, where you can get the new episode of Wolverine and all the back episodes of Books to Podcasts and much, much more.
And all of this is sponsored by Marvel Cinematic Studios presents Deadpool versus Wolverine in theaters tonight.
All right, we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.